Hey guys, Romie here. Please like, comment, subscribe if you're a first-time viewer, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you very much, and please like and comment on this video. This is my recap review for the Love and... not that crap. For the Haves and Have-Nots Season 4, Episode 19, I Am Wolf. The episode starts off with Mitch talking to Candace. Remember, now they're outside of Jim's campaign office, and Mitch is informing Candace, look, this scene was very drawn out. You know how Tyler Perry does it. So I'm gonna condense this. Mitch, why'd you do it? Why'd you what? Why'd you do? First of all, how are you asking why'd you do it? What did he do is what you should have asked. So eventually we get to that, and Mitch, he called his family, who worked something out with the police. Now I'm not sure exactly if his family members are part of the police and they're like the crooked cops, or if they just have connections with crooked cops. Long story very short, he went and planted drugs in Ward's vehicle, got Ward arrested, got the money taken, got his car impounded. He's thinking he did Candace a solid. Candace is just like, we are not together. We used to date, but not anymore. You don't have to look out for me like that. He was like, wait a minute, this dude was bending you over and violating you, and I don't know what he did because you're not filling me in, but I had to do something. I'm thinking, you are right, because we were looking at you crazy, as if, how in the world are you allowing this to happen to Candace and you're not doing anything? But I should have known Mitch had a plan, because this is Candace, so he was probably thinking she has something up her sleeve. I know how messed up all of this sounds, but let's just say that's how everything played out in their minds. And so Candace is saying how War has connections. It doesn't matter if he's in jail. He can come after me. He can kill me. Erica's just looking like, who is this dude? Like, what's going on? And then this is where we find out again that they used to date, Candace and Mitch. Not only that, Mitch, his family, I guess Mitch was afraid to bring home a black girl, so this wasn't actually a real relationship. And Candace is saying how, wait a minute, I know your father was a drug dealer, but Ward's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and so you're actually a good guy yourself. I don't understand why you're dibbling dabbling with this stuff for me. You need to cut that out. You actually need to go, because our market's here. Guess who pulls up? David pulls up, so she asks Mitch to leave, and this is when Candace finally puts it together that, oh, it was David. But before that, Erica's like, who is he? It's like, Mitch. He's an idiot. He's an idiot. He loved me. And she's just like, Lord, Candace, this is all well and good, but why does this always happen to you? Why does this always happen to you? And Candace is like, I don't know. But anyway, so David, if David is working with Oscar of all people, then that means that because David did threaten me. David did say that he was going to rain judgment on me, and unlike the likes I've never seen before. So I guess he was right. He played me. He played me really good. He played me. I did not see it coming. And Oscar took the money, and Erica was just like, so what are you going to do? Because we can't let this happen. You're my girl. You're my girl. Now David, oh yeah, David didn't get there yet, but David goes and he meets up with Jim, and he tells Jim that Wyatt is fine, Wyatt is okay, Jim is ecstatic. Jim is laughing, cackling that War is there. He's just like, what are you doing? Wait a minute. So you had me in a cell, which is why I call your nasty basement, and now you're really in jail? So Hannah is at Wyatt's, what do you call it? Hospital room, and she talks to Catherine, and Catherine's just like, has anything changed? No. The nurse checks on Wyatt, and Hannah's saying, maybe you need to come down here. Maybe you need to see your son. Catherine can't do it right now. She is emotionally distraught. She cannot do this. So she tells Hannah to go and place the phone next to Wyatt's ear, and she says, Mommy loves you. I forgive you for everything. Just please come home to me. And that was pretty much it, because Catherine was done. Catherine already lost Amanda recently, because you know Have and Have-Nots drags things out. So we're thinking years have gone by. No, I think just a couple of months have gone by in this damn show. So we get past that. Hannah goes and leaves, and Jeffrey comes. Jeffrey It's just like, I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am. Hannah's like, Jeffrey, I understand. What you did was wrong. You know what you did was wrong. Yes, ma'am. You know what you did. You need help. Yes, ma'am. Jeffrey, you cannot do that to your mother. I understand all the things that she said were vile and disgusting and unforgivable, but you cannot do that to your mother. And it's like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All the while, I'm thinking, we want him to do it. We want him to do something, so we're okay with it. This is for TV purposes. We know that in real life this would be wrong, but look, here's the truth. We need a female to go after Veronica. What was that? One good time. One good time. But until that happens, we just have to work with what Jeffrey did. But Hannah realizes Jeffrey's broken, that his mother's crazy, but she needs to make sure that he doesn't think that that behavior is okay. So she goes and gives him his number. She's like, whenever he needs to talk to me, go and do it. And Jeffrey's like, I know something's wrong with me. I actually went to school for this, so you don't have to go and coach me. But Hannah said, you know what? Have you ever prayed? And he said, no. She was like, really? So you've never prayed? You've never gone to church? It was like, no, we never did anything like that. You need to pray to God and place your burdens on Him. Place your worries on Him. Place your concerns on Him, because you cannot handle this by yourself. Your mother's not going anywhere regardless of what you did, which you can't do ever again, by the way. Yes, ma'am. And he was saying, you know, that's all well and good, but you're a Christian, right? It's like, yeah, but I know that some Christians, they don't really like people like me, like him. And so Jeffrey's concerned that, are you one of those where, aside from my mother being crazy, do you even care about me? And Hannah said, look, I understand that some people are misguided, some Christians are misguided and think that way and think that it's okay to think that way. I'm not one of them. God would not want any of His children, period, to go through what your mother's putting you through. And I'm so glad that Hannah, of all people, said that, because I feel like they needed someone like her to say that, to bring some legitimacy to it. So shout out to Hannah for that. Next, we have Jeffrey going, and we're all thinking this, Lord, Jeffrey finally gets to go be with his man Wyatt, and there's not a damn thing that Wyatt can do about it. And they now we're back to Candace. Candace sees that David, I told you what Candace already said. So Candace decides, you know, Erica, you know, that old guy you're dealing with, he's such a sleazeball. And why don't you go after David? Yeah, why don't you go after him? He's a good mark, girl. He is a good mark. He has a lot of money. He's a judge. And he took my money from me. So I'm really going to need for you to go and handle that. And Erica, she was sold. She saw David and was just like, oh, okay. She's like, oh, and he has money too? And it's like, So we'll see. David is vulnerable because Candace informed her that his wife is crazy. His family life is a mess. He lost his mistress. So now he needs someone new to fill in the cracks. And he might even be single. So this is perfect. This is perfect. You fit the bill. Go in there and smooze him. Get me my money back and then some. And she was like, okay, I got you. Yeah, I like this idea. Erica is so thirsty for the come up, it's not even funny. And the fact that she doesn't have to potentially sleep with, she gets to potentially sleep with someone that that's attractive and not old and decrepit. She's thrilled. She's like, Candace, you got my back. That's why I love you, girl. That's why I love you so much. And Hannah, while she's in the hospital, because apparently everyone's in the hospital, and Hannah did inform, Hannah is a ride or die, because she even told Jeffrey, you need to watch out for your mother, because I heard that she's in the hospital. She's in the hospital, so you need to watch your back. Laura walking, exiting out, she wants to buy this little nursery, and there goes Quincy Jr. We're like, wait a minute. So Quincy Jr. was admitted to the hospital. I guess that was Candace's way of dropping him off for a short term. And Quincy Jr. is like, Grandma, Grandma, Grandma. So here's the lowdown. He wants to go with his grandma. He wants to go right now. Hannah's excited because she's going to talk to the nurse. The nurse lets her know, yeah, no, he's been here for the past 3 days, and if he's here one more day, Child Protective Services will get him. Hannah's like, oh, okay. Hannah almost slips and makes it sound like she thought that he was in foster care, but the issue is that Hannah's not his legal guardian. Candace is. So Hannah can't legally go and take him. And Hannah was pissed, of course, but she was like, so can I at least tell him? She's like, no, you can't even have contact with him. I'm thinking, you let him have contact with her that whole time. You really can't. Can we get the old one back? The old one that Candace beat up back? Because at least she... But then again, she was easy to be bought. This one looks like she doesn't play. So shout out to her. So she was like, okay, I'm going to go and talk to the mother. And we're thinking, okay, we'll see how that actually works out. We'll see how that pans out. Now, Oscar is talking to David. Oscar lets it be known, okay, I handled this for you, I handled that for you. Is there anything else that you need handled? No, you got me the money back. You did everything you said you would and more. Oscar was like, oh, so do you think it's time for me to just go and give those guys a break and fix their phones? He said no. Originally, I was going to be okay with it when it was just my wife, because I'm tired of her. But my son, he threatened my son. Give me your gun. He was like, are you sure? Yes, this is for my son. I'm going to deal with him. People like him only understand certain things. So now Jeffrey is back and he's talking to his boo Wyatt. He's talking to his boo Wyatt. And he goes and lays his chest on Wyatt. Lays his head on Wyatt's chest. And here comes his mother saying, you know, if your head was just a little bit lower, it would be a federal crime. Oh, you was slick. And so she said, oh, so how is he doing? How is your man doing? It was like, because she's trying to walk closer. He's doing this to try and block her. She realizes, you're trying to protect your man? And he said, yes. I thought she was going to say friend, but she said man. So he said, yes. And Veronica wanted to let it be known, get out of my way, boy. He said, yeah. And Veronica thought she was going to be able to test Jeffrey, but not today. Not today. Jeffrey is like, he has his man. He has his man. So can't nobody stop him. He gets that same crazy look. And so she decides, yeah, I know what that look looks like. So I'm gonna back off. Okay, I got too far. Too far. Let's reset. By the way, honey, how are you feeling? Is your friend good? It's like, how about you? And she said, so are you gonna ask how your mom's doing? How mommy's doing? Why? See, this is the Jeffrey that we need. This is the Jeffrey that we need. But Veronica flips and says, you know what, boy? You're still gonna do what I say. You're still gonna get married to Melissa. You're going to do it because I told you to. You're going to do it because if you do not, there's this nice little court case that's still open because of you. And so how this will work is you do what I say and I won't have the police go to Candace's house. How about that? How about that? And she said, oh yeah, one more thing. If you ever threaten me, raise your hand to me ever again, I will absolutely, positively make sure it's the last thing you ever do. You hear me though. You hear me though. Okay. I'll be leaving now. And Jeffrey was like, yeah, I get it. Whatever's clever. What was that? Oh, by the way, I love you, son. No, you don't. Excuse me? No, you don't. You can't possibly love me. Yes, I do. I love you so much that I will ruin you. I will destroy you. I will control you. That's how much I love you. Bye. Veronica's crazy. Alright, so we go back into jail and War, he finds out not only did Candy lie to him about initially the $400,000, the $4 million, no, it was actually $7.4 million. And how does Jim know this? Because Jim was the one that Candace took the money from. Not only that, Jim was the one who got half of the money back. And so that's when they start trading stories about Candace, and that's when Jim realizes, oh, so that's why Candace needed the money, $2 million. Okay, Candace, she mortgaged all of her assets, and so within 15 days, bankruptcy court will go put it in foreclosure. We'll go sell it for $2.9 million. The bank will make a nice profit. I'm on the board of the bank. That's how all of this occurred. And he's like, oh, so you did. It's like, yeah, so you got pinched. So dude, where's your money? I'm thinking they're still in jail and they're talking freely. Like, what's going on? This doesn't make sense to me. Just like how is Wyatt not hooked up to anything? It took me a moment to realize, I'm like, something's missing here. Wyatt was on all that medication and yet they don't have even an IV, like a fake, like, come on, they dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. Because If Loving You Is Wrong, they had did they have everything? Was she actually hooked up? Now that I think about it, maybe not. Huh. Now, yeah, so War is bugging out. War's just like, ooh, 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 I can't believe this woman. Ooh. She always says, ooh. And Jim's saying how, yeah, she is smart, but she thinks that she's smarter than everyone else. And that's where her downfall is. She truly thinks she's smarter and better than everyone else, that she can pull a wool over anyone's eyes. But I have a plan. It's like, well, not so fast. You think you're in charge of everything. You think you can control everything. You think just because I lost the money, everything, I have connections. I'm going to kill her. Jim's saying, hold up now. You're going to kill her? You're going to do it. Good, good. But what about me? War says, you know, I have an insurance policy on you too. I still have some of the pictures as well. I have multiple copies actually. He said, hold up. Not only does that chick that I paid $7.4 million to have those pictures, you do as well? And I'm thinking, damn, War, you really never thought to use it? War, you're not as smart as I thought you were. Okay. Now, Jim says, I'll make a deal with you. You get rid of those pictures and you take care of that woman, that girl, and I won't come after you. I'll pretend like you don't exist. I'll let you and the rats in that basement, you can fester, do whatever you want in there. I'm thinking, what type of deal is this? War, you need to use some money. Jim just got some money back. Why didn't you finagle some money out of him? That was actually what I was thinking the whole time and I didn't realize it. I was wondering what's really going on? You're really not gonna go and get him money? Now, aside from that, we have David go off because he's gonna confront Benny. And Candace just like, you know that old guy you were messing with? That old creepy guy? What was his name? Grayson? Whatever his name was. Yeah, you're gonna leave him behind. But first, I need you to go and get your money because I respect you. Game recognized game. You know, leave your car here. I won't do anything to the car. I'll just follow him. I'll just pay close attention to, what do you call it, to Oscar. You know, I want my money back. That's all that matters. So this is a game of patience. This is like cat and mouse. This is patience and strategy. Go, whatever it'll take, an hour, get what you need to get, and come back. Just come back. And then we're good. You got me? Okay, thank you, girl. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Woo! I got me a new one. He rich and he's black. Woo! I'm sure that's all Erica was thinking. Now, again, Jim and War, they formulate this plan. Like I said, they're gonna go after Candace, and he was thinking, okay, now this is the contradiction. War says in one statement that he has connections, that he's gonna kill Candy. He's going to do it easily. He has people outside. But then he goes and it's like, you want me to take care of Candace? How am I going to do that? I'm stuck in here. Did anyone else catch that? I'm thinking, wait, did they really just contradict them? But Jim, of course, is saying how he's a judge. He can get himself out, and he can definitely get you out. So he's going to go and do that. You handle Candace, and everything's good. You burn the pictures. We're all good. I'm thinking, we're all good. But what about the money? Like, War is so short-sighted sometimes. He is so short-sighted. That's what I realized about him. And the last scene was Benny. He was talking to David. David is still on this whole Black Lives Matter, his gay son matters, whatever. Benny's saying, I don't want your wife. I don't want your wife. I'm not sleeping with your wife. You should have said anymore. I'm not sleeping with your wife anymore. And so you need to turn back on my phones. You need to do it now. No. Now. Do not attack my son. Leave my son out of this. You better listen to me. You better listen to me good. You better listen to me good. You turn back on my phones. I am not sleeping with your wife. I can't listen to this young child. He was like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And so they start fighting. And I'm like, David, where did this come from? David's punching Benny. David's punching Benny. But Benny's not, it looks like Benny is hard-headed because it doesn't look like anything's happening to him. Then Benny gets the upper hand, starts punching him. They start to tussle. David's like, you're not about to get me on whippersnapper. He pulls out the gun, he pulls out the Glock. And so they're struggling. Then they get down on the floor. They're still fighting. It looks like next week Mitch breaks it up. But there's going to be a bunch of stuff happening. It looks like Hannah has finally had it with Candace. And so she's going to do something. And she asked Catherine, I need you to do me a favor. Can you bail me out of jail? Are you willing to bail me out of jail? I'm like, Lord, did and felt inspired. Anyway, so that was it for this week's episode. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Come back next week.